Hi, this is Earl White, real estate attorney. This week's video is about 10 things that a buyer can do to close their deal in 30 days. I often get contracts or people call me and say, hey, I want to close, we need to close fast, can you accommodate that? The real estate attorney, as long as they're proactive, we're never really the reason that it doesn't close fast as long as the real estate attorney is proactive. So here's 10 things that I always recommend my clients do if they want to close reliably in 30 days. First, be reasonable in all your negotiations with the seller. It takes two sides I have a background in investments for a long period of time, and it takes two sides to make any deal happen, and both sides need to be reasonable, whether it's negotiating contract terms, whether it's negotiating inspections, whether it's resolving title issues. Both sides have to be reasonable if you want this deal to proceed in a timely fashion. Two, have a team lined up have a team lined up in advance. And you can do this right before attorney review or when we're finalizing the contract in attorney review. Have an inspector lined up. You could try to have an attorney lined up in advance. Have a lender lined up in advance. If you want to close quick in 30 or less days, it's not the time to go shopping around to save $100 on the attorney or $100 on the home inspector, or trying to cut down the fees on the lender. Get all that stuff done in advance so you have a good team in place ready to make things move for you. Once you get out of it, next thing, once you get out of attorney review, order your inspections right away. Don't waste the weekend. Don't waste a few days. If the attorney tells you we're done with attorney review, hopefully they reminded you, but I'm sure a realtor will remind you, you have to order all your inspections, and don't like stagger them. Order your depending on the property, but order your inspection, your radon, your tank sweep, a sewer scope if you're going to do one. Whatever the inspections you're going to do, get them all done right away. This way, if things come up that have to get addressed, if there's repairs the seller has to make, that can all happen within 30 days. If you wait another 10 days, it's not going to happen. If there's something sensitive, it's not going to happen. Order your appraisal right away. A lot of these, with the lenders, the appraiser's not going to get out to if you order the appraisal, from the time you order it, and a lot of people want to save a couple of bucks and not order the appraisal, but if your real goal here is I need to get this closed in 30 days, appraisal, once you order it, it's going to take them about 5 to 7 days to get to the property, and then it's going to take another 5 to 7 days to get the report back. And then if it under appraises, you're talking about another 3 or 4 or 5 days to renegotiate the price with the seller. So this whole appraisal process is going to be 2 weeks. If you're waiting 10 days, to order the appraisal, or 14 days because you don't want to do it till inspections get resolved, then yeah, if there's an issue with the appraisal, you're probably not going to close in 30 days, and the loan probably won't be ready if you delay the appraisal. Order your title search right away. If you work with the real estate attorney, we have good relationships with title companies. We work with them a lot. You're not going to get hit with large cancellation fees, and you're not going to get hit with fees if you don't if you order a title search and the deal falls through for some reason. So that really shouldn't be a worry. And most title companies are happy to help in the beginning. They would rather help you in the beginning than delay it, because then everyone's under stress trying to resolve a title issue that if we had just found out earlier that it could have gotten resolved in a timely fashion. This will also help the seller by giving them the results of the title search, so they can work on resolving whatever it is they need to resolve. If they have 2 weeks to do it, the title search also takes like 7 to 10 days to get the results. Sometimes a little bit longer, depending. So if you wait 10 days to select the title company, then you're talking about the closing. If there's any issues, you're probably not going to close in 30 days. Okay, respond to all phone calls and emails. Like, I know, look, I get it, everyone's busy at work, but if you want to close fast, you need to check your emails. In the modern day, you're going to get emails from your lender, from your attorney, from your realtors, from your inspectors, from everyone working on the deal. If you're not checking your email at least a few times a day, preferably sooner, there is going to be delays. We're going to have 24, 48-hour lags from when a decision that the buyer has to make if they're not checking their emails or returning their phone calls. Actually read the emails too. Like, it's great to check them, but you also have to read what people are sending you. So a lot of clients are great at it. Some clients, they kind of just look at it, file it away, and then they either don't read it, or if they read it, they don't ask a question. And obviously that's going to create delays if something gets missed or there's a miscommunication. So, actually read what we're sending to you, and if there's follow-up questions, yeah, get back to us with the question to make sure that it gets resolved. Now I know next thing is if you are doing a survey, try to order that shortly after you conclude inspections. They are expensive, so I would say to wait because we're talking $1,000 for a survey. You don't want to lose that money. So have the surveyor lined up, and then once it seems like it's going to clear inspections, then get that surveyor on the calendar because it's going to take them 5 to 7 days to get that up to their property, another 5 to 7 days to get the report. And so it's just not going to happen instantly. So if you're delaying it, it's gonna cause a slowdown in the sale. Lastly, make sure you have all your funds liquid. If you're the buyer and you need whatever your down payment plus your closing costs are going to be, you probably have a good sense of it from the beginning, at least a good ballpark number. Don't have your money locked up in crypto. Don't have it if it's so if your money is locked up in some strange investment, make sure to liquidate that. Also, make sure to tell your lender. If you have your money in investments in something different, just make sure everyone knows that in the beginning, so it doesn't cause a problem. But whatever you're pulling your funds from, make sure it's liquid, and don't just think, oh, I can just pull this from whenever, because sometimes you contact them, whoever's holding your money, whatever investment it is, and it may take 3 or 4 days to have that liquidated. Obviously, specific if it's in a 401k or anything like that, that's gonna have to be, make sure you work that out in advance. But don't assume that you can just liquidate it in a day or 24 hours. Find out early in the process how long it's going to take to get those funds liquid that you need to close, so we don't run into a problem before the closing, with you trying to liquidate your funds. Okay, guys, that's 10 things that you can do to help all the professionals working on the deal get it closed in 30 days.